Bottom left corner. On our teleprompter.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Ian.
I'm Lauren.
And today, this is our beginner body weight and kettlebell strength practice. Do you have a body weight? Check. Do you have a kettlebell? 1, 2. And if you don't, that's okay. A lot of the movements today will be with body weight when it comes to our kettlebell swing or our hinge. And if you have a heavier load, like a dumbbell, box of something heavy at home, you can use the same hinging and lifting mechanisms that we use to improve your strength. You don't need much more. Let's start with those basics, including our breath. I'll stay in my seated position here, and you might join Lauren as she gets onto her back. First, check in. Make sure the hair is in the right spot, that the floor is feeling okay.
The floor feels so good.
And you want to try to keep your neck in a nice neutral line. If you need a nice pillow to kind of bump up your neck, that we're not cranking it like we're at the dentist or the haircut, do what you got to do to feel safe and strong on the floor. From there, take one hand on the belly and one hand on the chest. Take a 4-second belly breath in, feeling that rise of the belly. Exhale. Repeat one more into the belly for 4 seconds. Good breath in and nice control out. For 2 more, take a chest breath. Inhale calmly into the chest. Expand the rib cage and exhale. And repeat one last time into the chest. And then exhale. Let's take a 4-second belly breath. So come back down that bottom hand and for 4 seconds, inhale. 4, 3, 2, and hold full for 4 seconds. Exhale. Take one last 4-second chest breath in. Hold for 4 seconds as well. And then exhale. We'll come back to that breathing in just a second. Until we do, from the position like Lauren, or I'll stand, take an ankle across the body. From standing and using your balance aid as you need, from that figure 4 position here, slowly bring a knee that's wide to the body and bring it towards the midline. Make sure that our hips stay nice and level as to avoid a hike or a rotation. From that midline, open that knee back out to the side. Also, make sure we avoid a twist or rotation, including the hiked hip. Couple more, pull the knee towards across the midline. If you're standing like me, stay nice and tall. If you're lying down like Lauren, maybe feel those rib cage and hip connections, aiming for stability through the torso. For one more repetition, close up across the midline. That could feel like our load stretch on the adductors and lateral bum cheeks here. And then one last time we'll open, maintain that stability, easily close up that leg, unhook, and press to the floor. Same thing on the other side. On the floor might be easier, but the balancing like I am might be a nice additional challenge. From here, pull the knee towards the midline, making sure that this hip is pushing or extending forward if we're standing and avoiding the hike. Then move away from the body, creating a nice little triangle between the knee, foot, and hip. And again, close up that gap, take away daylight, making sure the hips stay level, avoid a hike. Nice and slow, open to the side. For one more, we'll close, nice and control. Keep this other hip forward and active as we go. And one last time to open, nice and stable as well. And then slowly close, unhook a foot, and return it to the floor. Let's return to the breath for one more time here. Hand belly and a hand chest. Take a 4-second belly breath in. Go. 3, 2, and hold full. Now take a sniff into the chest. And then exhale. A couple more in a row. 4-second belly breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold full for 4 seconds. And take a chest breath in. And exhale. 2 more series. We'll take a 4-second belly breath in. We'll hold full for 4 seconds. And a 4-second chest breath in. Exhale. Feels like I have 3.5 seconds in. Really, it does. You might feel restricted, but let's do that one more time. Take a 4-second belly breath in. Hold full for 4 seconds. And take the safest, biggest chest breath in. And then slowly let that go. Sometimes I gotta wave in front of Lauren's eyes there just to make sure that she's still with us. Because hopefully that's calming, restoring, and awareness building to use your belly to breathe, but fill those lungs. Because your lungs are up here. Pardon me?
It's a good way to go to sleep at night.
I think so. From here, we're going to toss it to Lauren, and she'll take us through a mobility get-up, emphasizing the shoulder shrug and those shoulder packs as we get into some of our get-ups here today.
Get up, get up. From lying on your back, place your right arm out to the side. Your left knee is bent. Your left arm is up in the air as if it has that imaginary kettlebell. From here, we'll keep it there for a bit and then we'll bring it down. From here, drive your left foot into the floor so hard that it sends energy up into that butt cheek, and you can feel that butt cheek start to squeeze. And then relax. You didn't really go that far, that's okay. Do it again. Drive into the floor, send that butt cheek energy up, maybe extend your hip even a little bit more this time, and then back down. This time we're going to drive into the floor, extend our hips so much that our shoulders come with us and we pull to that elbow. Now from here, right now I have proud right shoulder. I want you to have lazy right shoulder, so shrug. Now to get out of this shrug, think about engaging your lats or your armpits to press away from the floor. Then from here, keep that proudness as you press to your hand. From here, have a lazy shoulder again, shrug it up into your ear, and then press the floor away, almost screw it into its socket. Are we going all the way up, Ian?
Yeah.
Now, we're going to lift our hips. Hold for a second just for bonus points. And then sweep that leg underneath where your butt was. Take that top arm and just bring it down and cross it across your body. Now, same thing here. This bottom shoulder packed. From here, press the floor away. Hips will kind of sit back a little bit. Extend, pushing hips through. Front foot moves. Level those hips out. Start pushing forward and down, or forward and out on the front foot, and back and away from you on the back foot. That should cause you to start to hover and press up together. Sorry, am I going back down?
Yeah.
Okay, same side. So that same arm is across your body. Leg you can touch. Reach it back behind you. Level hips. This back hip is pushing forward as this front hip goes back in its socket. Slow descent. 3, 2, soft landing. Front foot opens. Now, take your hand, chop your hips, push them back so your butt almost goes towards your ankle back there. Then place your hand on the floor. Then shift your weight over your hand. Then you don't have to do your hard landing to the floor. Pack your shoulder of that right hand. Lift the back knee. Sweep it through. Find your bum. Is that shoulder still packed? Pull it down if it's not. To the elbow. And then control away from your elbow to your back for 3, 2, soft landing. Nice. Second side. Right arm, we'll just put it across the body right now. Right arm across the body, right knee bent, left arm out to your side. Drive into the floor with that right foot first, squeezing the cheek. Feel it go up and then relax. And then drive into the floor so much you extend your hip a little bit more, your butt cheek will come off the floor. And then relax. Now this one, drive into the floor so hard, Keep pushing and then pull on your elbow. Now, you stay. Proud shoulder, saggy shoulder. Now engage your lat to be proud again. Keep that proudness as you find your hand and repack that. From here, lift. We held it for a second last time. And then sweep under. Hand leaves the floor, hips extend. Front foot moves. Start pushing down and away. Create your tension. Up to tall. Back down. Leg you can touch. Should be your left leg. Steps back. Control descent. Left hip pushing forward. Right hip going back in its socket. Soft landing. Front foot opens. Take your hand, chop your hip. Send it back over top of your ankle. Then hand finds the floor. Shift your weight to restack your shoulders. And check in. Shoulder packed. Lift that back knee. Sweep it through to your butt, to your elbow, proud shoulder, no saggy, to your back. 3, 2, soft landing. Whew.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Great. So from here, can we just cue a little high plank action here, Lauren?
I like this position.
I do too. Nice and relaxing there. A little bit more high intensity.
Oh, high
here
plank.
If we could. Elbows, yeah, elbows. Elbows is just fine. So from this position, I'd like Lauren to start with her chest on the floor. Those forearms are parallel, and I can see already that our armpits are packed. Next, we'll bring that attention to the belly button area, and we'll tuck under those hips. With the core engaged, press the floor away using your knees. Maybe this is where you stay. Or lift the knees, and maybe lift the bum a little higher. And then as we scoop those hips underneath, connecting the front of the hips to the ribs, we can squeeze our butt cheeks and make a nice high tension plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then relax. If you follow along with Lauren, just watch me for a second as she cues me through the same.
All right, head's neutral. Then pull those shoulders down to the armpits just like you did. Tuck your hips under. Press the floor away. Chest and hips leave at the same time. Either stay or lift your knees. And then scoop under, punch in the stomach, punch in the butt. Hold. 5, don't move. 4, 3, but breathe. 2, and then knees come down and soft landing.
We do that. I go, you go, one more time. So if you join Lauren that first set, join her again here as we set up those parallel forearms, shoulders back and down, tucking hips already, lifting to a nice plank. Lift the knees if allowed, and now for 10 seconds, breathing and creating high tension here that we'll use in our deadlift, our swing, and moments in your life. Gently go knees down and relax. Last one for me. Same thing. Set up on the floor.
Chin tucked, shoulders packed, hips tuck first, chest and hips leave at the same time as you press away. Maybe knees, maybe toes. Tuck, hold, pull, squeeze, brace, breathe, don't move. 4, 3, 2, knees, and then just, or extend up.
Nice. So from here, I need to go get my kettlebell. So let's take our time coming on up.
Hey there.
And then we'll listen to Lauren here as we get into our arm bar. And now that I say that, I probably shouldn't do it with that one. Let me get one more lighter load here for my arm bar.
Our arm bar, with or without your bell. Come on down. Well, you're still on the floor, so stay down. If you are unfamiliar with the word arm bar, I'd recommend you do this the first time on both sides body weight or with a very light load, and then you can go from there. We're going to start. I'm going to have my back to you for a second. It's not because I'm being rude, but it's important to cuddle.
The cuddle.
Actually, I'd like to face this way with my mic, just in case. So 2 hands, cuddling towards your bell. Your bottom hand is going to go in the kettlebell handle. Your second hand is going to cuddle on top. With both your hands and the bell, roll into your back. 2-handed press, imaginary or kettlebell or said weight. Now, pack your shoulder. Check out that wrist right now that's holding the bell. Is it nice and straight with a straight line? No broken wrists here. Then take your other arm that's empty and put it overhead. Using the same hip drive we used in our get up. Drive into the floor, extending your hip, rolling to your side. Right now, my head's resting, my shoulders are stacked, my hips are stacked, and my one foot is linked on the back of my knee, and that knee is on the floor. If I feel steady, I'm going to unhook the foot and then think about rolling my hips towards the floor as my shoulders stay stacked. I'm going to take a breath. Exhale, try to roll a bit more. Maybe do that one more time. Then when I feel ready, keep that lat engaged, slowly coming to your side. Foot finds the floor behind you. Roll to your back, 2 hands. Bell pulls down, keeping that vertical forearm, and then cuddles. From here, you move around your bell. Don't move your, well, you can move your bell around your head. Wait a second, I just did my right hand. I have to do my left hand. I was trying to not have my back to you.
That's okay.
That's okay. Okay, this way, sorry. All right, other side. Hope you're not as confused as I am. Cuddle. Bottom hand goes in. Second hand on top. 2-handed roll. 2-handed press. Empty arm comes overhead. Press into the floor using your hip extension. Roll onto your side. Hook that foot first. Check in, shoulders are stacked, hips are stacked. Then rotate, unhook your foot. Try to roll those hips towards the floor, keeping the shoulders stacked and breathing. Kind of wringing yourself out here. One more breath. Then keeping that lat engaged, roll to your back, foot finds the floor, 2 hands on bell, vertical pull down, cuddle, and
We're going to do that again in a second. But until then, let's do one get up on each side. Pretend that we have that load in your arm as you do your get up. Barehanded, here we go.
barehanded.
So set up on your back, that cuddle roll press like Lauren's instructed. And this time, that arm that's not loaded or not pointing to the ceiling is extended at the belt line, height, or similar. Extend through the hip. She's talked about it a lot. Push through the hip. Pull on that elbow. And then get to your tall sit. At the tall sit, bridge by pushing the foot down and away from the body. Sweep the other leg. And then extend through that windmill. Square up your lunge. Perhaps return your arm to that rack position to really concentrate on the up-downness of your lunge. And as Lauren's also instructed, press back through the back, front through the front to travel to tall. Maybe reestablish that arm overhead, and same thing. Drop back into the lunge, keep that back hip extended, pushing forward as we descend in the lunge, and then open up the leg to the side. Add our rotation, the hinge, sweep that leg through, find the elbow, and then to the back with control. Lauren's 3-second count is great for today. Same thing on the other side. So here I have my left leg bent with my left arm to the ceiling and my right hand on the ground. From here, extend through that hip, pushing through the hip, pulling on the elbow. To the tall sit. From the tall sit, bridge, sweeping that leg through, extending those hips to a tall windmill. From here, perhaps pull that arm down, square up the lunge, and really work on that up-down nature of the lunge movement to the tall stand. Perhaps replace that arm overhead, and then same thing as we descend. The leg you can touch drops back. Casual touch on the ground. Then open that leg to the lateral side. The rotation and hinge on the hip. Find the floor. Sweep through. Tall sit to the elbow. And then press off that elbow for nice control to the ground. We'll do that armbar movement one more time. If the rotation is a little bit delicate or precarious for you, spend more time in the firing range. I'll be in the firing range to the back as Lauren goes through the armbar one more time.
Great. The firing range position, I'll tell you when we're in it. Cuddle, two-handed roll, two-handed press. This is your firing range position. So maybe you just stay here and find stability under that bell. Great. If you'd like to continue, other arm comes overhead, hip extension, so press foot into floor, push onto side, foot hooks behind the knee, unhooks when you're ready, hip rolls towards the floor, breathe. Oop, I'm on a transition strip here. Breathe, keep those shoulders stacked and packed. One more breath. Keeping the shoulders stacked, roll to side. Foot finds the floor behind you. Control to your back. Two hands, now no matter where you're coming from, vertical form as you pull that bell down. And cuddle. Other side.
Feet over that bell.
I won't make it this complicated this time.
Amazing.
Same thing. Either firing range or rolling about here. Two-handed cuddle. Roll, two-handed press. Organize yourself. Maybe you're staying there. If you're coming with me, press into the floor. Get stacked on your side. Shoulders and hips first. Once you're there, maybe if you want more, where you stay. Exhale, rotate that hip towards the floor. Breathing. One more breath. Then slowly coming to your side, foot finding the floor behind you, two hands, pull bell down, vertical, and cuddle.
Good.
Great.
You choose the side that's hardest for your get up, and let's do one more and we'll end up standing. For me, that's where I have my right arm overhead or to the ceiling with my right leg bent. So from here, we'll extend through that hip. Pow, pull on that elbow to the tall sit. Bridging through, sweeping through, getting that lunge. Perhaps again, reset that arm to really focus on that lunge again today and push away out the back to drive forward. And again, let that wiggle out, have a sip, toss it to the side, and shake it out.
Don't mind if I do.
Last couple of weeks, we have been working on some of those kettlebell holds. So we'll continue that in today's practice, carrying a load low, progressing to the rack or the goblet holds, and working on our body weight hinge movements as we work through. To start, the suitcase hold.
The suitcase hold. You never know when you're going to need to go somewhere again.
Grocery bag hold.
More relevant in today's
Salt
society.
bag hold. So set up your stance right over top of the bell. And if you look down, you might not be able to see the handle. I have my handle perpendicular to my feet. It's very appropriate to have Lauren's handle parallel with the feet as well. You choose, and from here, set up that hip hinge. Look 6 or 8 or some odd feet in front of you, and with one hand, grab the kettlebell. Are you in a rotation? I think we're both looking pretty square, but for one repetition here, rotate the shoulders to unsquare, find square, let go, and then come up barehanded. Cramp glutes on those abs. Chop those hinges, hips go back, shins stay vertical. Again, we're looking a couple feet out in front of us, grab on with one hand. Did you set up in a rotation? If so, find square. And if you did set up square, let's find a little rotation there. Pull ourselves back towards level or square, then let go of the kettlebell and body weight up. If you're unfamiliar with our hinge, maybe that's exactly where you stay. Build that familiarity to keep the shoulders square. If you're ready to hold on to a little bit of load, it'll be a 20-second duration here as we hinge, grip, pull it off the ground, and hold stationary for 20 seconds. Chop those hips. They go back. We're looking in front of us. I'm grabbing on with my right hand. I feel connected to the kettlebell, safe in my core, and then I'm going to lift it on up, step together, and the kettlebell will go to the side of the body. For one easy repetition here, oversell that side bend of the kettlebell side, and then use the other side abs to pull back to stay nice and tall. Stand on one surface rather than straddling the mat the way I was, and for about 7 more seconds, I hope that can be grip strength, core strength, and maybe even a little aerobics in there as well. Let's open your stance, return the kettlebell to the floor with those squared shoulders, let go, extend through.
It's a heat starter for me.
Yeah, gets those fired muscles going here. So same thing on the other side. So I'm going to set up my hinge, my hips go back.
Hips go back.
We'll grab on with our one arm. If we're in a rotation, we want to make sure we can calibrate to center first. Then packing, preloading, using those abs to stand up together, and very lightly do a side bend to the kettlebell side, and then pull on the other side abs for strength and control. We're holding that for about 10 more seconds again. Push your feet out into the floor, cramp the glutes, brace those abs, and breathe from behind that shield for 3, 2, open your stance, return that kettlebell to the ground, other shoulders square, and then body weight up. Let's repeat that one more time on each side. Set up the hip hinge. Hips go back, shoulders stay square. Packing shoulders, preloading, meaning lift the kettlebell a little bit, and then all the way. And again, for about 20 seconds, we might side bend to that kettlebell side, and then rip it back, nice and tall, supported on the other side. We both have our arms out to the side here, like little, what are they called, maybe not quite outriggers, but feeling strong with it. And in 3 seconds, we'll open our stance, return the kettlebell to the ground, and then barehanded up. I know I missed my rubber mat
It's
there.
the wood, so that's okay.
One last time, same thing. Set up the hinge. Shoulders stay square, single grip on the kettlebell. Make sure your neck is neutral, you're feeling preloaded in the body. Drive the tall, and then open to the side. Breathe. Cramp those glutes and find a way to activate that other side of the body. Continue holding for about 5 more seconds. Build strength from the grip to the core to the feet. And then open, hinge, stay square, gently let go, and body weight up. All right, Lauren, let's see that shadow swing.
Shadow swing. Do you have a shadow? Yeah, you do. All right, Peter Pan. Standing tall. Let's start at the top. Extend your arms out front. Right now, reach forward so your blades come around your body. Now, don't do that ever again when we're doing this. Pull your blades back together. Now keep them there. Kind of pull your lats down too. Slowly your arms are going to start to fall. They're going to fall, they're going to fall, they're going to fall. You're going to have to move. So get those hips out of the way by hinging back. Hands are between your legs and they're reaching out behind you. If your fingers are straight, I should almost see your fingers. Well, I shouldn't almost. I see your fingers out behind your bottom. Now from here, keep that connection with your forearms to your quads as you slowly extend your hips. Stay connected, stay connected, stay connected. Then whammo. Bell starts to fling. Arms stay retracted. Pause at the top. Be in a plank here, butt squeezed, abs braced. Then slowly arms start to fall. Play chicken. Don't move, don't move, don't move. Move. Hinge. Reach out the back. Load up those hips. Brace your core. Drive into the floor to extend your hips through. Whammo. Arms start to float. Pause. Plank hold. Then arms start to fall. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Move. Hinge. Reach long. Spine is still nice and long. Tail is tilted to the ceiling. Drive down and away. Extend. Not faster, but a little faster. Whammo. Don't pause too much. Bell starts to fall. Move. Hinge. One more time. Load it up. Drive hips through. Whammo. Float. Bell starts to fall. Don't move. Hinge. Back behind your legs. Stay in your hinge. Put your bell back down on the floor in front of you just by extending your arms. Let go, up without. Good.
That shadow swing. Phasing and building off of that deadlift to get to some kettlebell swings, which we do hope to finish with in a very light capacity at the end of today's practice. From now, we went from one hand down low. Can we go to two hands in this goblet hold? A couple different ways we can get that up. We haven't talked to our squat too much today. Let's try it with our squat. So, stepping just behind the bell.
You gonna bicep curl that bad boy?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Gun show.
So, from here, we're slightly behind the kettlebell. Pull yourself to a low position and tip the kettlebell away from you, grabbing it by the horns. From here, take that breath, bicep curl, and then stand up. Avoid it on the chest, but pull the shoulder blades together. Lean forward a little bit, that we really are loading up glutes and abs and not the low back. Maintain that nice strong position.
Like your plank.
Grip that kettlebell, turn on those abs, and maybe for 5 more seconds, open up your stance a little bit, and then return it to the ground in your sit or your squat, and then extend through the elbows, body weight, or barehanded, back up. If that's a squat, what are the hallmarks of our squat compared to our hinge?
I know.
In our kettlebell hinge...
Oh, I thought you were asking me.
Yeah, what are they? What are they?
Well, our squat, we got way lower than our hinge. So in our squat, our butt could drop below our knees.
Nice.
That's one.
Yeah. The other, knees over toes. In that kettlebell hinge and swing, we want to keep vertical shins. And then in our squat, you'll find that those shins could get over those toes. Both are very useful. It's kind of a when and a where scenario, but for one more time today, let's work on that squat to the goblet hold. Hands on the insides of legs. Encourage those knees to go away from the body. Tip that kettlebell away from you. Grab on. And up to tall. Off of the body just a little bit. And lean forward just a little bit to load up those abs. And holding that for about 10 more seconds, pushing the feet apart, cramping the glutes, bracing the core, breathing. And I really wish I didn't have to talk as I was doing this.
3, 2,
Holy.
steps.
Then we'll open our stance. We'll sit low in our squat. And then extend the elbows. Come up barehanded. Like it's easy, but we know that's not. We know that's not. So we're going to toss it to Lauren for another version of our body weight swings.
This time, we'll get a little bit faster. I'd actually like to set up as if we would set up with our swing. So let's use our hinge, and your imaginary bell is on the floor just in front of you, about here. So come on down, set up in this hike position. Now from here, shrug your shoulders up, pull them down. That's where they're going to be. Now pull the imaginary bell to the zipper of your pants. Extend your hips just like we practice in our shadow swing. Hips pop through, bell flies. Stop at the top for a second. You wouldn't normally stop here, but stop. Are your blades retracted? Your abs braced? Now, bell starts to fall. Move, hinge. Ready? Drive through. Bell starts to fall. Move, hinge. Whammo. Starts to fall. Move. Stay tight to the body for as long as you can. Hinge. 2 more. Bell starts to fall. Move. Last one. We're going to park the bell. So we're going to hinge, and then bell goes back to where you started. Let it go. Up without.
Down low with 1. In the middle with 2. We can also learn to be in this racks position also with 1 kettlebell. For that, we'll use our cheek clean.
Cheek clean.
So we're back to standing over top of the kettlebell. Grab it with the arm and the hand that it will be in for the remainder of this drill. That'll be my right. So I'll grip with my right hand. Then I'm going to wrap my left hand around that, and our shoulders are nice and square. From here, take a breath in, and extend those hips, pulling the kettlebell to this rack's position. Holding again for about 20 seconds, cramp up the glutes, making sure that we're not leaning to one side or the other too much.
Our forearm is vertical or perpendicular to the floor. That wrist is straight. And as well, think about where that bell is resting. It should mainly be on your forearm, not really on your bicep.
For 3, 2, 2 hands on, and then efficiently return it to the floor. Shake it out in between. Same thing on the other side. So take my left hand, grip that kettlebell. Take the other hand, wrap it around, check that the shoulders are square, take a breath to prepare, zip, and pull to that rack's position. Holding for about 20 seconds. And I might ask Lauren to do some talking here too.
Vertical forearm, wrist nice and straight, just like we practice in that arm bar. Check it out that it's not resting on the bicep, because likely that means you're resting on the hip. Use your core for 5, 4, 2 hands, unzip your jacket to put it down. Stand up without. When I say unzip, you have winter coats out by now, I would think. And if you don't, I want to know where you are.
Yeah, I want to be where you are.
So when you pull it up or put it down, zip up your jacket, unzip your jacket. Then you'll keep it close to your body versus sending it away from you.
Last hold for the day. Back to the original side. Rack holds. Here we go. So stand over top of that kettlebell.
Same thing.
Set up that hip hinge. Single hand on. 2 hands to support. Zip up that coat to the rack position. And again, about 20 seconds worth of time.
Glutes.
Abs. Breathing.
Thinking one day we could press out of this. Remember to breathe.
And 5, 4, 2 hands on. Cuddle to the floor. Return to the floor. And barehanded up. One more time on the other side. Set up that hinge. Grip it with one hand. Support with the other. Preload. Zip to the rack. And again, for 20 seconds, cramp the glutes. Push the feet into the floor. Feel tension in the core. Build that grip strength and body awareness for 5.
And if it hurts the back of your forearm, it's probably in the right place.
2 hands on and then down.
You'll get used to it.
And barehanded back up. Woo!
Woo!
That turns the sweat on. Those earlier movements did too, but that gets that heart rate
So does boiling
going.
rads.
Shake it out. So to finish today's practice, please feel free to join us in some very light numbers of swings, or just watch and build upon our skills with those bodyweight versions for the next time. I'll start, and I'm going to do 5 kettlebell swings. Check it out. In my rest, Lauren will do her 5. And I hope that we can talk about it after, because I'm out of breath for some reason today.
The other thing I'd recommend is if you don't feel like swinging your actual bell, try to stay on pace with one of us in our swings, but doing the pop and chops that we did earlier. So just pattern the pace, body, weight.
I'll set up in my kettlebell dance. My toes touch. I pivot on a heel, pivot on a big toe. Pivot heel, pivot big toe. Rock back and forth a little bit. Get it just right. And here I go for 5 kettlebell swings.
I'm already in my setup. 1, 2. So you can see that bell coming behind Ian's body. Yeah, good. All the way through. Almost looks like he's going to hit the wall behind him.
That's my 5. Lauren's 5. Sets up. Delays the hinge, creating that nice contact at the hips to explode. Pop, pop. How did 5 feel? Let's do 5 again. Setting up the hinge, 2 hands on.
Packing those shoulders before you pull the bell. And at the top, just like we practiced earlier, those retracted shoulder blades. Even if you don't have a bell, keep them retracted.
Lauren's turn. This I go, you go pattern, very nice for that nice conditioning. And give yourself about at least a 1-to-1 work-rest ratio. Park it. Set 3 of 4. Let's go 2 more sets here.
Set number 3.
Set up that hip hinge.
Noticing every time, we're only swinging to that chest level. Arms are extended out in front of us. We're in that plank position at the top. Taking the inhale on the down, Park.
And look at your friend, look at your neighbor. You might be able to learn something. I love looking at Lauren's heavy feet, finding that nice tension to stay strong. This is my last set, and I'm gonna do 4 sets now of 5 reps. I could do more, and that's a good place to finish your workout. So join me if you think you have a couple more sets, but I promise this is the last one.
Straight knees to the top of those swings, extending that plank. Remembering to breathe.
Whew. Shaking it out in between. And last set of swings here. Looking strong. And park. We want you to start your workout strong and finish even stronger. Take your time. Coming down, and we'll say our hello goodbye. You should share with them our breathing drill again. I need it more than maybe you do.
Yeah. So after those swings, close your mouth, open your nose, breathe in and out your nose. Get that down for one more breath. Okay, on this next inhale, inhale for 4. In for 4, 2, 3, 4. Out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Repeat. In for 4. Out for 4. 2 more. In for 4. Out for 4. 1 more. In for 4. Out for 4. So for improved lung capacity, for improved breath, for improved stamina, for improved recovery, for an improved life, try that breathing drill just in your daily life. Maybe you go for a walk and you come back in and you're, oh, I'm a little winded. Well, use that even more and try to slow your breath down and recover, but control your recovery yourself. Okay? Take control of that breath. It doesn't have to be that you were out doing a run or anything. You could have just been out chopping wood. Take a second.
Walking up a flight of stairs,
Rebreathe.
That happens.
Use those little life moments to help get stronger all around.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to do anything crazy.
And again, it will be more challenging right now because it's not familiar. When you build that familiarity, that you can have that control from your diaphragm and your lungs, as Lauren said, it really helps in your lifestyle.
And you can add a second on, go 5 seconds. You can add a little hold. You could just get so fancy.
Play with it. Play with your strength.
All my secrets away in this hour.
Play with your strength and play with us again soon. My name's Ian.
I'm Lauren.
And together we're Bars and Bells. Stay strong, build body awareness, and take care of the things you can see and the things that you might take for granted, like our lungs and our breath. Have a good day. Thank you again. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Goodbye.